Alright, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. So in today's video, as you can tell by the title, we are installing the, which is I believe dubbed by Ken Gucci, or the Buy 24 upgrade kit for the GR Corolla. And what that entails is basically, if you guys are unaware, or if you guys just don't really follow GR Corollas, that the GR Corolla, the 24 model, has a few upgraded items over the 23 to make it handle better and a straight line stability. So what they included for the 24 that isn't on the 23 are these like these subframe bolts or steering rack bolts, or both, I forget which ones, but they include thicker bolts for the front and the rear to help with like the handling of the car. I guess it gives it a tighter steering feel. So that's one thing that the 24 has. Another thing is that it has like this aluminum tape that I'm not sure actually works the way it does. It's a science beyond my knowledge. But you stick it on a certain spot in the front bumpers on the left and right side, and the rear bumper on the left and right side, and it like keeps the air turbulence down or something like that. I don't know. Like I said, it's a science beyond my knowledge. It helps with straight line stability. And then the last thing we're going to be installing are new exit vents for the fender wells. For the 23s, because the Japan model doesn't have the wing, the circuit edition wing, which is I believe now dubbed the sports wing because you can just buy it as an accessory, isn't in Europe, well, I mean not Europe, Japan or Australia. So it's a US thing only, so they didn't account for the downforce that would be added to the rear with the exit vents that came on the 23. So if the circuit editions had the wing, obviously, and then they had to block off the front vents because the way the vent was angled caused the front end to lift because of the extra downforce from the spoiler that the circuit edition comes with. So if you guys remember from my Laguna video, I had my front ends taped off, and a lot of you guys were asking why I had it taped off. Is because I had the rear spoiler on, and I didn't want my front end to get any sort of lift on like straight end runs or whatever. And Laguna's definitely a high speed track, so. But now that I have the 24 vents, it's redesigned to like flow air in a different direction to exit the bumper. It doesn't cause the lift anymore. So now circuit edition people can remove the front panel cover that's covering their front vents to actually make it a functional vent again. So that is like my major goal for this thing. Initially, I was just going to install that, but then Toyota went ahead and I got Toyota to send me a 24 kit, and well, they gave me everything. So I figured, why not? Let's just go ahead and install everything. I don't expect for this to like have a significant difference in terms of like handling and stability. I don't think the majority of people are going to feel it. I don't even think you're going to feel it until you get onto the track. So I don't know if I'll be able to even test it in this video, but you know what, why not? It's an upgrade. It could just be snake oil. It could just be spending. I think retail, I believe, is what they said it's going to be around $200 and something dollars. Don't quote me on that. I don't remember exactly what MSRP was going to be. Obviously, a guy at Toyota hooked me up. Thank you, David. I really appreciate that. So anyways, I really think that this is going to be coming down to preference on how much you really want to do this install or even purchase this install. It kind of comes down to you. But for me, I figured, you know what, why not? Let me waste probably about an hour, maybe less. Probably going to be less if you have access to a lift. Excuse me. Which is probably the reason why this intro is so long. And it's really going to be more explaining what everything does, because I don't think the install is going to take very long at all. I think the hardest part is going to be taking off the front bumper, and even then, that's not that hard, right? So yeah, let's go ahead and over to JTV Performance out in Katy, Texas. Get this car in the air and get this done. So here's the 24 kit that Toyota sent me. It includes 4 subframe bolts, 2 for the front, 2 for the rear. Here's that aluminum tape, 2 for the front bumper, 2 for the rear bumper. And then here are the vents, the parts that I was most excited about that can finally, if you guys are aware, follow my channel, I went ahead and got to borrow some of my buddy's circuit edition ones so I didn't have to tape it anymore. He already had his plugged up and he doesn't use this. He has like some carbon fiber ones. Anyways, I can finally take these off and let the airflow to evacuate out of the front bumper area like it's supposed to, and like just help with aerodynamics. So yeah, let's go ahead and get the car in the air and install this. This shouldn't take more than 30 minutes.
It will give 500 horsepower gains.
You hear that? Stickers. Stickers have, the ricers are right. Stickers finally have been proven to work to make you faster. All right, guys, so I wasn't really going to make a video. I was just going to refer to Ken Gushi's video. I love the man, but his video is not clear whatsoever. So in the video right here, once you get the car into the air, you're going to want to take this one off right here, and then this one off right here. That is for the front. And then for the rear, we found the rear bolts. They are way tucked up into there. So as terms of like how it looks, here's from underneath. You go in, you remove this down,
the subframe right here,
and then it's right there. That is a 22 millimeter bolt, and then the same thing on the opposite side. The new one is a 24 millimeter, so keep that in mind. So I'm going to go ahead and let Johnny take that down, just to show you what it actually looks like, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, it's 22.
So, in terms of old versus new, this is the new one right here, the 24 millimeter head one, and then this is the old one right here, the 22 millimeter head ones. As far as thickness goes, they're basically the exact same, except for this weird taper part at the end of the factory, or the 23 bolts. So I'm not sure in terms of like how much that untapered part improves steering response and straight line handling. Who knows? But the head is thicker technically, and then it is thicker at the very edge of the bolt compared to the old one. This is the old one. Once again, it has a small taper towards the end, but there you guys go. Like I said in the beginning of the video, I don't believe that you're gonna significantly feel this in terms of driving around daily, unless you're just driving around like you're on the track constantly. So I won't notice anything until like I get to the track. But yeah, once again, if you guys want to do this, I'll leave parts down below. Let's go ahead, get this one in, get the other one out, and then we'll move to the front. Okay, now that we have the rear bolts out and sorted out, we're gonna go ahead and take these out right here. So basically, from when you're looking at it, it's just this one right here and this one right here. I believe, unlike Ken Gushi, he doesn't mention it, there is a nut at the top. It looks like it. I don't think it's gonna cause too much of an issue just to get a wrench up there, but just note that there is a nut at top of each one of these bolts right here. So let's go ahead and get these out and show you the comparison.
Take this one and give me the new one. Slide me on here.
All right, so this is the old one right here, and then this is the new one. For these, I see absolutely zero difference. The washer may be a little thicker. I have no idea, but honestly, this one looks exactly the same. Even the thread lengths are the same. Maybe it comes down to
it's a denser grade bolt.
A denser grade bolt. Maybe this area right here is a little thicker, but without a micrometer, I won't know for sure. So yeah, this one's definitely just snake oil. I guess the easiest way to note is
the new one.
Is that the older ones have this I, and then these newer ones have this 10 on it. So
oh, it's a 10 grade bolt.
Yeah.
Ah.
So yeah, the older one is like a 1 or an I, so yeah, who knows. But there you go, 19's at the top, 19's at the bottom. Just go ahead, bolt it back in, and you are done. So yeah, let's go ahead and get the front bumper off so I can show you what to do with the air vents and the tape. All right, so what do you think?
So technically these are 10 grade bolts, so we don't know what the original ones were, but you know, stronger bolt, you know, weaker bolt have a little bit more play to it, I guess, in turning and in severe turning. So you know, with hard turns, with these stronger graded bolts, we could get a stiffer, firmer feel. You know what I mean? It's microscopic, but it does it's at the end of the day, it's going to be a stronger
The
bolt.
minute differences that makes it, you know, stock differences from this and that. Like I said, you're probably not going to feel this on the road. You're not going to feel it onto the track, and even then, it might just be minor. Like, it's not going to be life-changing, but it is technically making it a little bit better. But
Physics. Right? Physics.
So
that's it.
yeah, it's up to you guys if you guys want to spend the money on these. But yeah, let's go ahead and move on to the front bumper. All right, so for the tape in the rear, it seems like the early 23 models does not have the outline for where the tape needs to be. Once again, you can just remove this little section right here to have access to it. So we're basing it off of pictures and like a PDF. So it's roughly right about here, and then about 2 inches above this rear reflector right now. So I'm going to go ahead and show Johnny the instructions, the pictures one more time, and then I'll get right back to you. All right, so there we have it right there. Give or take, the bottom edge lines up more or less right with this clip right there, and it's more or less kind of towards the middle of the bumper. It's at a weird angle. So just go ahead, repeat it for the other side, and then we'll move on to the front. All right guys, so for the tape on the front, it's so much easier since I have the measurements, which for some reason Ken Gucci does not tell you. So from the bottom of the bumper right here to where the bottom of the sticker should be, it should be 4.3 inches away, give or take, obviously, right? And then from the bottom of this tab right here, it needs to be 3 inches away from the bumper, which is right here at this little corner apex. As you see, 3 and then 4.3. And then from the bottom of this one right here, it needs to be about 4.1 inches away from there. And then from the corner to right about here, it needs to be 5 inches away. And then once you have all that said and done, it's golden. So this tape was really easy once you have all the measurements: 4.3, 3, 4.1, and then 5. And then yeah, you're golden. Now let me go ahead, remove this tape right here, remove the sticky backing or the sticky front, and then we'll go ahead and do the vent install, which is what I really wanted from this kit, mostly because I think it's going to be the most beneficial for me for the wing. I did say at the beginning of this video, this install is probably going to take 30 minutes. It has taken us a little bit longer just because of measuring and then how hard the clips were. So I would say set aside around 2 hours for this job. Well, obviously, you know, I'm filming, that does take some time. So about an hour to 2 hour job is how long this thing's going to take, depending on how hard or how easy your clips and front bumper is to take off. Okay, so with the fender liner off, this was really easy to take out. It was just one clip right there. So as you can see here, this is the original. It has like a very hard curve in the way the air is funneled out. So for whatever reason, this is causing lift with the Circuit Edition rear spoiler. The way they have this is more of a wider mouth, or it's like not less curved, right? So I don't know if you guys can see it. This little angle right here.
Show them that it would be like this.
Right.
So the air would be hitting this and coming out.
This way. So now it looks like the air is going to come out and go over the tire.
So now this is straight. Air is going to come in and cause airflow right here.
And that'll hopefully alleviate the lift that it's causing. I don't know. It's engineering. Toyota says they were having issues with it. So if they say this fixes that, it fixes that. I did notice.
This is why I wish we had a wind tunnel.
That would be nice, right? I mean, we could technically have made our own.
Make
we could
our
just have a
I'll
blower and then we blow the air.
You put the fan? All right, we got this.
Anyways, whatever it is, Toyota says this alleviates the lift once you have a rear spoiler. So we're just going to go ahead and put that on. Really quite simple. Once that's on, put that back together, make sure all the clips are back on, and we're good to go. Whether you want to do this before or after, I completely forgot. Now that you have the new vents, you can go ahead and take these off. So we're going to go ahead and line up the bumper some more, and then we'll go ahead and pull these off. Okay, so initial thoughts. I don't know if it feels a little stiffer in the steering department. But as I said, I don't know if you'll notice it tremendously just driving around town. These are things you're probably going to notice under track conditions, and even then you would probably have to do it back to back, right? Like you'd have to go out, do a few laps, get a feel for how the steering reacts and how like the straight line performance is, and then literally go back, take it into the pit or the garage or whatever, lift it up, install all these parts, and then go out and then do it again. Like, I think that's when you're really going to notice all the differences that these parts make: the tape, the bolts, the air ducts. So is it worth it for you to invest? I don't know, I'm getting mixed answers about how much it costs. It costs anywhere from, like, I've seen online, from like $160 plus shipping all the way up to like $350 picked up from a dealership, right? So it all depends on how you feel you want to spend your $100 to $300. Personally, I don't think I would recommend this stuff, right? Unless, the only thing I would truly recommend is probably the air duct vents. If you have a circuit edition, that's the only thing I can truly recommend, because I feel like that you would probably notice at like higher speeds on it, unless you just don't care, right? Then you just leave it covered up and it doesn't matter. But other than that, I can't recommend this kit, even though, like, you know, Toyota was like, hey, you know, you're gonna love these parts. And I'm like, is it though, or am I? So I'm going to tell you guys the truth. You know, I'm not going to sit here in the video and say, oh, my miles per gallon is better, or like it feels tremendously stiffer, like turning. I don't feel it, especially just driving around town like this, you know. And it's been a while since I've been to the track. It's been almost 3 months now since I've been to the track. So I don't know, like, if I even went back now, if it's going to feel remotely better. Maybe it will. Maybe that 10 grade bolt will now feel that much stiffer in the front end, or maybe I'll just get some more stability going down the front or back straight of MSR. So I mean, even then, I could tell you until I went to the track again. So as of right now, my 2 cents, take it however you will. I don't believe the My 24 upgrade kit is worth the money, short of maybe the air duct vents. Like, I feel like if you just want to open up that vent and make it a functional vent, then yeah, go ahead and buy those. But other than that, I say skip the bolts, especially the rear, right? Like the rear, the fronts, short of like the grade it's made out of, it looked exactly the same. The rears just had, like, it didn't have the taper end like the factory 23 one did. Like, just for you to spend $200-300 on this upgrade, and you don't actually even track the car, you just drive it around, right? You do maybe some spirited driving on the weekend, or every other weekend, right? Or every once a month. I don't think it's worth it, personally. So I'm not going to sit here and tell you, hey, go out and buy it. But once again, this is all personal preference, right? Like, if you want that minute difference, by all means, I'll leave part numbers in the description box down below. You know, it could be a good selling point if you decide to sell the car later on. Be like, hey, look, I got the upgraded parts from the 24 on my 23. Just, you know, little stuff like that is maybe why you would want to do it, right? Like, but do you really want to spend $300 on parts just to say, oh yeah, I have upgraded parts on this 23 from a 24, but then they only give you like an extra $200? It kind of comes and goes. Could just be nice to say you have the upgraded parts if that's the type of person you are. Just to say you have all the latest and greatest parts. But yeah, my 2 cents, I say skip it. So thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. I think as of the time of this video released, I am actually out of town, so there might be a lack of videos for the next couple of weeks, mainly because I don't think I'm going to have any more parts to install. My last video obviously was the downpipe, and then this one, I think as of the current release date, I should be out of town, so I'm not going to be able to record anything this weekend. And even if something did come in, I don't know if I would have time to record it for the next week's video. So do bear in mind, it's going to be a couple weeks before I post another video again. So yeah, as always, thank you for watching, and until next time, guys, later.